Have you ever wondered why some fears are so gripping they can stop you in your tracks? Fear. That chilling sensation that sends shivers down your spine, makes your heart race and your palms sweat. It's an experience that is as universal as it is personal, a complex emotion that has shaped human behavior since time immemorial. Fear is not merely a response to danger, it is a nuanced, intricate tapestry woven from our individual experiences, perceptions, and instincts. It can manifest in countless ways, from the common fear of heights or spiders to more complex phobias like agoraphobia or social anxiety. These fears, no matter how irrational they may seem, can have profound effects on our lives, influencing our decisions, shaping our personalities, and sometimes even defining our identities. As we embark on this journey to probe the depths of fear, we look forward to unraveling its enigma. As we delve deeper, we will uncover the mysteries of fear and its fascinating influence on our minds. Fear, as unpleasant as it may seem, is a vital response to physical and emotional danger. Now, this might sound counterintuitive, but let's take a step back, about 100,000 years or so. Picture our early human ancestors, living in a world filled with predators, harsh climates, and other dangers. For them, fear wasn't just an occasional visitor, but a constant companion, a survival mechanism that kept them alive. This evolutionary perspective of fear shows us that it's not an anomaly, but a natural part of our psyche, honed by the unforgiving hand of natural selection. It's a primal instinct deeply ingrained in our DNA that primes us to react to threats. Fear heightens our awareness, it quickens our reflexes, it prepares us for fight or flight. Now let's fast forward to the present day. While we may not be dodging saber-toothed tigers or braving icy tundras, our fear response is still very much active. It's evolved, adapted to the complexities of modern life. We may fear public speaking more than predatory animals, but the underlying mechanism is the same. This brings us to the concept of fear conditioning. It's the process by which we learn to fear something. Our brains are hardwired to associate certain stimuli with danger, and this association triggers the fear response. It's a form of learning, albeit a rather unpleasant one. For instance, if you've ever been bitten by a dog, you might feel a surge of fear the next time you see one. This is fear conditioning in action. Your brain has learned to associate dogs with the pain of being bitten, and it triggers a fear response to protect you. So, while fear might be uncomfortable, it's an integral part of our existence. It's a tool, a guide, a protector. It's a reminder of our past, a product of our evolution, and a testament to our survival. Fear, in essence, is a primal instinct deeply rooted in our psyche, designed to protect us. Fear, though universal, is not a simple emotion. It is a complex interplay of our mind and body. To truly understand fear, we must break it down into its physiological and psychological components. Let's begin with the physical responses that occur when we sense danger. The star of this show is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped set of neurons nestled deep within our brain's medial temporal lobe. The amygdala is like the alarm system of our brain. When it perceives a threat, it sets off a chain reaction in our body, preparing us for the fight or flight response. This is where adrenaline, our body's natural survival hormone, steps onto the stage. Released by the adrenal glands, adrenaline increases our heart rate, dilates our pupils, and diverts blood to the muscles, priming our body for action. This is why, when we're scared, we feel our heart pounding, our breath quickening, and a rush of energy coursing through our veins. But fear is not merely a physiological response. It has a psychological component too. Our mind's interpretation of events can amplify or dampen our fear response. For instance, imagine walking in a forest at night. The rustling of leaves may send your heart racing. But if your mind interprets this as the wind, your fear would subside. However, if your mind interprets it as a potential predator, your fear would intensify. So fear is a dialogue between our mind and body. Our body responds to perceived threats by preparing for action, while our mind interprets events and determines the level of threat. This interplay can result in a spectrum of fear responses, from mild unease to paralyzing terror. Our understanding of fear would be incomplete without acknowledging its role in our survival. Fear is our body's way of protecting us from harm. It alerts us to danger and prepares us for action. It's an evolutionary tool honed over millions of years to help us navigate a world fraught with perils. Fear, then, is not just an emotion, but a sophisticated defense mechanism. Fear can be crippling, it can hold us back, but it also holds immense transformative power. A statement that might seem paradoxical, but let's delve into this a bit more. Imagine a young woman named Emily. Emily has a fear of public speaking. Every time she's asked to present in front of her colleagues, her heart races, her palms sweat, and she stumbles over her words. Emily's fear of public speaking is not just an inconvenience, it's a barrier to her professional growth. But what if we told you that Emily's fear could also be her greatest motivator? Here's how. Emily's fear makes her uncomfortable, it pushes her out of her comfort zone, and it's in this discomfort that she finds motivation. She decides she doesn't want to feel this fear anymore. She doesn't want it to control her life or her career. So Emily does something remarkable. She confronts her fear. She starts attending public speaking classes. She practices in front of her friends. She even volunteers to lead presentations at work. Each step is a battle, but with every victory, Emily's confidence grows. She starts noticing a change, not just in her public speaking skills, but in her overall demeanor. She walks a little taller, speaks a little louder, and carries herself with more confidence. Emily's fear of public speaking, once a barrier, has now become a stepping stone to her personal and professional growth. Fear, in its raw, unprocessed form, can indeed be crippling. It can make us feel small, weak, and insignificant. But when we confront our fears, when we decide to not let them control us, we tap into their transformative power. We become stronger, braver, and more resilient. So, the next time you feel fear creeping in, remember Emily's story. Remember that fear is not just a roadblock, but also a signpost, pointing you towards growth and transformation. Fear, when harnessed properly, can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth. The question then arises, how do we conquer our fears? Facing our fears is not about eradicating them, but learning to live with them, understanding them, and managing their impact on our lives. Overcoming fear is a journey that takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. Let's delve into some strategies and techniques that can help us on this journey. One such method is exposure therapy. This approach involves gradually and repeatedly facing the source of your fear in a safe and controlled environment. The idea is to desensitize yourself, to reduce the power that the fear holds over you. For example, if you're afraid of heights, you might start by simply imagining being in a high place, then gradually progressing to actually spending time in such places, always ensuring that you feel safe and in control. Another technique is cognitive behavioral therapy, often referred to as CBT. This is a type of psychological treatment that can help you understand and change thought patterns that lead to harmful attitudes or behaviors. It's about dismantling the negative thought processes and rebuilding them in a positive and healthy way. For instance, if you have social anxiety, a therapist might help you identify the negative thoughts you have about social situations, challenge them, and replace them with more positive and realistic thoughts. Self-help strategies are also a crucial part of overcoming fear. These can include everything from deep breathing exercises and mindfulness, to regular physical exercise, to simply talking about your fears with someone you trust. It's about finding what works best for you. Remember, these strategies are not quick fixes. They require patience, dedication, and perseverance. You might not see change overnight, but with time and consistency, you will make progress. And finally, it's important to remember that everyone has fears. It's a part of being human. But it's also important to remember that fears are not the defining aspect of who you are. They are merely one part of the complex and beautiful mosaic that makes up your identity. While fear is a part of us, we are not defined by our fears. Overcoming them is a journey of self-discovery and growth. Fear, as we have seen, is not just an emotion, but a complex, multifaceted phenomenon. It's intriguing, isn't it? This paradox of fear that we've been discussing. It's a protector, alerting us to danger, ensuring our survival since the dawn of humanity. It's also a barrier often standing in the way of our dreams and aspirations, holding us back from taking risks and reaching our full potential. We've explored the depths of fear, its origins, its anatomy, its power, and even how to overcome it. Yet the paradox persists. Fear can both save us and stifle us. It's this duality that makes it such a fascinating part of our human experience. So the next time you feel fear, remember it's not just an enemy to be conquered, but also a guide, a teacher, In understanding fear, we not only learn about our primal instincts, but also about our capacity for courage, resilience, and growth.